Hello there, everybody. This is Silent Mist, and welcome back to Minecraft Life. It's been a couple of days, hasn't it? And since the last time I recorded, I've spent quite a bit of time trying to get back to where I was. If any of you guys, for some odd reason, don't remember, or if for some odd reason you're starting on episode 9 of this series. In the last episode, a couple of chunks in my world got reset to what they were beforehand, and a couple of other chunks just got utterly corrupted. So in between parts, I fixed up the areas that have been corrupted, or no, that were reset. To some extent, unfortunately, I lost a lot of my stuff, and I went into MC Edit and deleted all the chunks that were messed up entirely. So the world is back, for the most part, minus all of my stuff that was lost in the debacle. But hey, I got off my butt and set up a backup system to back up my world. Essentially, every single day at, I think, 6 a.m., my world is backed up onto Google Drive, so I should never have to worry about something like that happening again. But that's not what I want to talk about in today's episode. In today's episode, this is going to be a bit of a topic-y episode, and I'm going to hopefully just get some random stuff done while we're doing this. But today, I want to talk about Vessel. Now, don't worry, guys. I don't think I will ever be going to Vessel because A, I'm not big enough to get onto Vessel, and B, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure how they are about Let's Play content. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't go there because I don't want to be there. I'm just saying that realistically, I don't think I'm going to be on Vessel ever. But Vessel is a very, very interesting thing in my eyes because for the first time ever, YouTube has some serious competition. And I mean, I'm not thinking of competition in the sense that, like, Vimeo is YouTube's competition. No, Vimeo, does Vimeo even exist? I don't even know what Vimeo is. I think I had a Vimeo account for a high school project that required me to post stuff on Vimeo instead of YouTube. But alas, that's getting off topic. So Vessel is a very interesting thing to see as someone who's been a partner of YouTube, someone who's been with YouTube for a really long time. I mean, I've been watching YouTube. I've been a YouTuber, not necessarily a content creator, but I've been just a random viewer of YouTube since I think 7th grade. 7th grade, I was a huge, oh my god, I was such a dork in 7th grade. I loved Naruto, and I learned that you could watch Naruto online on this website called YouTube, and well, that started everything. I started watching videos on there, and wow, have things changed. I think in 8th grade, or was it later? It might have been the later parts of 7th grade, I started making, no, I think it was earlier than 7th grade. Was it? Was it early? Was it middle school that I started? Oh wait, no, not middle school, not elementary school. Was it middle? It was early middle school that I started watching YouTube stuff. But to not get entirely off track, so seeing Vessel now as a, well, okay, let's start with the basics. So I should get this out of the way because I started recording this for the first time, or this is the second time that I'm recording this, and I decided to stop the recording because I got hugely off track and I really didn't make any progress, and it was kind of a rant. So I should start this off by stating that I'm going to be really blunt and try not to take stuff that I say out of context too much. I don't want to sound like I am a bigot who is in YouTube for just the money, but I'm using, like, my knowledge as a YouTube partner as just a way of portraying what I want to say, hopefully to give you guys, like, some idea of where I'm coming from. So let's start off with a very, very brief history of, a very condensed history of YouTube and the changes that they've made that I don't very much like. I don't care for the UI changes that YouTube has made. I don't feel like it's really made YouTube any less accessible, and I feel like that's where a lot of people complain about how YouTube is dying, but no, I don't really care for that. I think I've explained this before, because everyone complains about YouTube UI changes, and then when it changes, every time it changes, people will say, hey, the last UI was so good, why did you change it? And then people get used to the UI, and then they change it again, and people are like, hey, why'd you change the YouTube UI? I hate the new one. And the old one was so much better. And then you go look at the old version of YouTube, and you're like, what was this? How did I use this? But no, it's not the UI changes. It's more of the changes under the hood that I very much don't like or agree with too much, and it all pretty much stems from how YouTube changed the partnership system. So I've been a YouTube partner for, 4 years, I think. I applied for partnership sometime in 8th grade, or 9th grade, I think. Maybe 10th grade? 9th grade, I think I applied for a YouTube partnership, and I got it. And this was back when not everyone could be a partner, in the sense that, hey, you want to be a partner? Do you have an audience? Do you have views? Great. And it's not like, hey, do you want to be a partner? We'll let you be a partner, especially if you go and try to get other people to be partners. If you can, get 20 people to partner with our network, yeah, we'll let you be a partner. Oh, my God, networks that do that. The networks in general make me very, very angry. I remember when being a part of Machinima meant something, and now it doesn't. But, yeah, pretty much everything stems from this one point, which I think was, the turning point for YouTube, that turned YouTube from a niche content creator's place to a anyone can do what they want to do sort of thing. And I mean, anyone being able to do what they want to do is a pretty cool thing. It also has drastically reduced the quality of stuff on YouTube. And I don't want to say that I make this super high quality content stuff. I might actually be a part of the camp of people who just make crap and post it to YouTube, because I mean, that's what I do. I just record crap and post it to YouTube. But at least for the most part, it's not low quality in the sense that potato quality, potato audio. I mean, occasionally something wrong happens, but usually it doesn't. For the most part, I have pretty good quality standards in terms of what actually goes up. I mean, whether or not the content, what I'm actually talking about, means anything, that's an entirely different story. But in terms of just good, high quality footage, I think I have that. But ever since anyone could become a partner and anyone could monetize their content, things have gotten a little weird. Now, this is where I feel like I did a really terrible job of explaining it, and I just sounded like I was really angry that I wasn't getting paid enough on YouTube. And that was actually one of the main reasons why I stopped the last video. But let me once again preface this with, I'm not trying to say that I am mad with me not making enough money on YouTube. Heck, right now, I very much consider YouTube a hobby. Especially as a college student, it is not my top priority, and it really can't be my top priority unless I was treating it as a job, which obviously I'm not. But to start off with the things that I really don't like about YouTube, and eventually this will all tie into my intriguement and fear of Vessel, is the way that in allowing anyone to become a partner, how it has really messed up YouTube's ad inventory. So I remember back when I started making videos for YouTube, right when I started monetizing my content, and right after YouTube introduced the in-video ads, how much I was making per ad, and roughly what I should expect to make, and how that's fluctuated and gone down. And this actually also ties into the algorithm changes that YouTube has made, which have, I think, the main cause of many problems. But so So I'm going to use a different YouTube channel as an example of how opening up YouTube ad inventory has really messed up things. So I'm not sure how many of you guys either watch Linus Tech Tips or follow him on Facebook. This information specifically from something he posted on Facebook a while back. I think it was a couple months ago. But he posted 2 graphs on YouTube. These are 2 graphs that anyone who has access to Google Analytics, or pretty much anyone who has access to ad revenue on YouTube now, has access to. And it was 2 very simple graphs. It was the number of views that he gets per day, and the amount of the ad revenue, or total ad revenue, he makes per day. Obviously, the actual amounts were completely censored out because that's not something you usually want to share. But so there's a very interesting trend that I've also noticed. This just on a much smaller scale, because I'm not a 1 million subscriber YouTube channel that does it as a business. Oh, I hear chicken dying. But Linus Tech Tips, that channel has been growing. It has been gaining traction for quite some time. I mean, it spikes quite often, but it's a growing channel, and with that, the number of views that it gets per day is increasing. However, normally you would assume that with the number of views increasing, so would ad revenue. And as a business that Linus is running with many employees, the amount that you're making is a very, very important number. So you'd expect with the number of views you're getting, the more videos you're cranking out, that you would be making more money. However, despite view count going up, ad revenue has been going down. And this has been a general trend with YouTube, where ads are becoming less, and they're becoming worth less and less. And this in part is due to the fact that, is due to the fact that YouTube now allows essentially anyone to become a partner through either a network, or I don't actually know how the YouTube partnership system works anymore. I think the restrictions are much smaller, but due to the fact that anyone can become a partner and essentially anyone can monetize content, this leads into a problem where just advertisers don't really value ads anymore. And this also stems from a problem where I don't know if this is 100% true, so I don't want to say this and spread lies, but I think roughly 90% of YouTube traffic is generated by roughly 10% of its users, which is not a position you want to be in if you're advertising stuff or if you're hosting stuff, because that means you really can't feed a lot of people unique ads. But because of that, and the fact that anyone can monetize content, pretty much the value of ads has gone through the ground. And this really annoys me on a more moral level, in the sense that, so if you're advertising something like on TV, I believe the CPM, or cents per mil, which is essentially how much you make per 1,000 views, is roughly, I want to say, at a minimum, $10 per 1,000 views. Now, that is a very strong minimum. It goes up to insane amounts, like during the Super Bowl. I don't even want to know. I believe like Coca-Cola spent $1 million on a 1-second ad, or that's what they. I don't know if that's true, but they did some. The Super Bowl ads are crazy expensive. Ads on TV usually go between $10 and $100 per CPM. And just seeing that kind of disparity between what TV channel commercials will make compared to YouTube commercials makes me really sad to see that gigantic disparity. On top of this, the amount that people make per ad has been going down. So it's just like, why? Why is this happening? Why do you advertisers see YouTube as such just like a place where you can just spend pennies and get lots of free attention? It's just, it irks me on a more fundamental level than just like, I should be making more money. It's just like, no, why do you treat all of the people you're advertising to like they're so worthless? So this, once again, I've been kind of ranting about YouTube, and I think I should get off that track. So, oh, nope, don't want to break that. So this all ties into why Vessel is a very intriguing thing, because Vessel is curating content. They're hand-selecting people that they want to have on their network, and not even network, on their distribution platform, and saying, well, yeah, you can make stuff for us. We'll do a bunch of cool stuff for you if you make content for us. And I think the main thing is the ads that will be, I mean, there aren't going to be too many ads placed on Vessel. I mean, it's going to be, for the most part, a subscription service. But the ads that are placed there, I don't want to say that there aren't going to be any ads there, because I'm 97% sure that's false. But the ads that are going to be placed there are going to be worth significantly more than what they would be worth on YouTube, just because there's going to be a significantly higher form of quality content there, because pretty much everyone there is, I don't know if there is a minimum cutoff, but I don't think I've seen anyone sub multiple hundreds of thousands of subscribers on there. So essentially, they know that anyone that they get on Vessel will be able to either produce high quality content or content that's going to get a lot of unique views. And because of that, they're going to be putting YouTube in a very interesting place, because if Vessel catches on, then pretty much everyone that can move will move to Vessel. And that's going to be like all of the large YouTubers. And pretty much everyone right now is saying, don't worry, we'll continue to make YouTube videos, because YouTube is a free distribution platform, and we really don't want to we don't want to force people to pay to watch our videos. But I think right now that if Vessel plays their cards right, that they won't need to have a subscription service anymore. Maybe they'll have like a premium subscription service, but they won't need to have a subscription service, because the ads that they're going to be putting in videos are going to be worth a lot. compared to YouTube videos. And in doing that, eventually YouTube content creators are going, so a lot of people genuinely do YouTube for fun. A lot of people, and I'd assume that pretty much any large YouTuber does it, makes YouTube videos because they love it. But a lot of YouTubers, especially large ones, if they're expected to make high quality content, they have to treat it like a job because they have to put that much time into it in order to make the high quality stuff. And, oh no, I just lost my train of thought. Oh no! Oh yeah, and essentially, as a result, if they can move to a platform which is no different than YouTube in terms of the outreach that they can get, but they can earn more per video that they post, that means that they're going to be able to put more resources into making the stuff, resulting in higher quality content. And then they're just going to have no reason to post it to YouTube, especially if Vessel is able to get rid of the subscription service, which I don't think is entirely unreasonable, because if they get enough large people on there and they're able to raise the amount that each ad is worth to by a significant proportion, then it's not going to matter. The $3 you're going to have to spend per month is going to be nothing compared to the amount that they're going to make per ad revenue. So mark my words, if Vessel plays their cards right, I don't think it's going to be a subscription service. Not for long. Of course, there's the possibility the Vessel's just going to sink like a rock, which I don't think is entirely impossible. I really hope it's not, because YouTube needs competition. Right now, YouTube holds a very unfortunate monopoly on the online video distribution market, because there is no competition for YouTube as of right now, with the exception of Vessel. And because of that, YouTube hasn't really had the need to innovate. And because of that, it's just YouTube doesn't get a lot of stuff done. YouTube doesn't earn that much of a profit right now, which is unfortunate. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming they have turned a profit somewhere, but like the cost of hosting all these videos and of all the bandwidth and everything it takes to maintain YouTube is roughly what they're making back in what they take from ad revenue. And having Vessel as now true competition will really force YouTube into a position of where they're going to need to improve their stuff. And if they don't, they're going to sink. And this is why it kind of scares me, because I very much love YouTube in not really a childish way, but it's been there for a long time. It's been a part of my life for a long time. And to see it have the potential to like go away, I mean, there are a lot of things that people are attached to. And YouTube is just that thing for me, because it's just a special place. I go there so often. I go there every day pretty much. To at least watch, I don't know why I couldn't open that, to at least watch something. And to see it have the potential to go away, it's just a saddening thing. It's there, like, it's nostalgic almost. But, yeah, so I'm very, that doesn't mean that I want to see Vessel fail. I actually very much want to, like, the curious side of me wants to see Vessel succeed so I can see how YouTube will change. Oh no, is that a corrupt chunk? No, it's not. And I mean, there is always the possibility that this could cause like it could cause YouTube to like entirely reform itself, in the sense that imagine everyone leaves YouTube because it's no longer, well, not everyone, but like all the big guys leave YouTube because there's no point in staying on YouTube. Well, what happens if because of that, smaller people decide to pick up? And because of that, YouTube's going to pretty much start at ground zero, or at step zero again, where back when I consider the golden days of YouTube, I'm assuming that they were even less profitable back then, but it is still, in my eyes, the golden days of YouTube, where people just started making new stuff again. And it wasn't just the same old gigantic people. I mean, there are a lot of big people that I very much like, but at the same time, I rarely find myself watching any smaller YouTubers anymore. I think like the smallest guy that I probably watch on a semi-regular basis is Johnny Awesome, and I actually think he's surpassed me in size as of now. And yeah, I don't watch any smaller guys anymore just because it's hard to find them. I mean, also another change, to get back to the changes of YouTube that I'm not too fond of, is the front page. I remember back when like the front page was a tool for helping out people instead of a place to host like not even large, but like people that used to be on TV. Like, I think Jimmy Kimmel, I think, is one of the guys, the comedians, all the music videos. Oh my God, that I don't even want to get on that. But like, I don't want to get into that, but I'm going to get into it. So the other day, I signed into YouTube on my phone. Actually, I don't sign into YouTube on my phone. I got a new phone the other day, and I was just setting it up, flashing ROMs and all that crazy stuff. But I got a new phone the other day, and before I add my YouTube account on my phone, because that's a couple of steps with the two-factor authentication in order to actually get on. So I just log into YouTube and the mobile app, and you know what's there? Nothing but Vevo. Like, all the Vevo channels, those are like all the music video channels, and there was nothing there but that. I couldn't find it was Vevo this, Vevo that. You want music videos? You want that? No, there was nothing there. It was just music videos, and seeing that made me really, really sad, because I remember back in the day when, like, getting to the front page meant that you were going to get a lot of publicity to your channel, and losing that entirely. You never see anyone small on the front page. You never see like any startup YouTubers on the front page that are legitimately making good content. You only see like Jimmy Kimmel, I think, is like the best example of this, because I think that's his name. I could be completely messing up his name because I don't usually watch these people. I don't watch comedians too often. But I love what he does. But that doesn't mean that he has to be the only thing that's on the YouTube page. I make room for the smaller people. Jeez. But yeah, that's one of the biggest. That's in and of itself is one of the biggest changes to YouTube that I very much hate. Is just the reformation of the front page, being it provides only really coverage to really big people. And, I mean, that's no different than what Vessel does. But Vessel is only big people, so they can't exactly do that for small people. And I'm just really interested in seeing... I want to see something like YouTube being pushed into a corner, so they're forced to change their ways. But that's going to take time, and that's also assuming that that Vessel is going to work. And like I said, as of now, nobody knows if it's going to work. Even like a lot of people that are making Vessels, that are on Vessel right now, have just come out and said, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work, but it seems like a promising endeavor. I should at least test it out. Oh, excuse me. I'm burping left and right. But I think I've covered most of the stuff that I wanted to cover about Vessel and my views on it. And yeah, I'm just really interested to see how things are going to change. I hope they do a good job with what they're doing. Because if they do, well, YouTube, I am interested to see what the next card you're going to play is going to be. I don't doubt your ability to turn everything around. I don't doubt that if Vessel even starts to gain traction, that you wouldn't be unable to completely negate it. No, I have no doubt in my mind that you have the resources to do so. I just hope that you do. Because right now, the direction that YouTube is heading in a direction that I don't want to see it going in. And I've been a part of YouTube for a long time. So I feel like I at least know to some extent what I'm talking about. I'm not just spouting entirely hot gas. I've seen all parts of YouTube that one can possibly see. I've been a viewer for a long time. I've been a partner for a long time. I mean, the only perspective I can't give you is that of like a gigantic channel, because I'm not a gigantic channel. 17,000 subscribers, especially nowadays. Actually, I think it's more along the lines of 18,000 as of the time of recording this, but 18,000 subscribers nowadays, while that's no small number by any means. I mean, think that 18,000, if you saw 18,000 people and then realized that 18,000 of those, that all of those people pressed a button that says, hey, I like the content this guy is making. That is amazing. That is insane. But compared, maybe 4 years ago, that would have been a very big channel. But nowadays, in the grand scheme of YouTube, that's like 1%. That's 2% of 1 million subscribers. And there are a lot of 1 million subscriber channels nowadays. So, yeah, that's the only perspective I can't give you. The gigantic person's perspective. But regardless, I mean, I can't just be like, yo, YouTube, if you're watching this video, don't make these changes, do that. No, I can't really say that, because that's just a silly thing to say. But it is of my own personal hopes and wishes that YouTube changes the way that it handles doing things. because I honestly feel that if they don't, well, YouTube's going to have a very, very rough time ahead of them. And there are going to be other markets that are going to blossom and innovate because YouTube won't. So I guess the best thing I can say is the ball is in your court, YouTube. Let's see what you're capable of doing, because you are by no means an incapable company. You have resources that many people can't even fathom. Let's see if you can put them to use. So, yep, that's my that is my vessel rant. I feel like that ended a lot better than it started, but that's just me. So I think I'm gonna end things off here, guys. I have a bit of stuff that I need to do. I am in between classes right now. It's a Monday. I had last week off from school, and I also kind of took last week off from YouTube, even though, I mean, I really I'm not doing too much, so I really can't say I'm taking time off of doing YouTube, because I barely have daily content as of right now. I mean, I have bi-daily content because we have Paper Mario that goes up every day, but yeah. So I'm obviously going to continue making stuff on here. YouTube is still my nostalgic thing that I love. Hopefully it will stay that way. I really have no intentions of ever abandoning YouTube. Until the day that YouTube dies or they ban my channel for some odd reason, I will be here to stay. So, guys, thank you for listening to my rant. I hope it made some sense. I feel pretty good about how it ended, so I think I'm going to go with it. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, let me just shamelessly plug away at myself right now, because as much as I love just doing YouTube for the sake of doing YouTube, I am also a guy that just absolutely loves numbers. So mash that like button if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I think that's about all I can say for today's episode. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, that's fantastic. Hopefully in the next episode we'll have some stuff to do instead of just having a talkie vlog. No, this isn't even a vlog. Talkie video. We'll have a stuffy video, and we'll do super fantastic crazy stuff then. So guys, I'm gonna say this one last time, but I do hope you enjoyed this video. There's a freaking creeper in my house. You can die, please, and I will see you all again next time. So until then, farewell.